Let's see if this is on. Okay, it is. Awesome. Great. Hey guys, it's Dan Thavanos. How are you doing? Um, Interesting stream today. The first part of the stream is actually going to be centered on maybe a tutorial on, let's see, sound. Am I coming through? I hope I'm coming through. Is basically going to be on dividing up a fantasy world. If you wanted to do an actual world to create, that's kind of what the first part of this video is going to be, about half hour, and then we're going to make some maps, and I'll tell you what's going on really quick. Let's go ahead and get started here, if I can find the button, that is. All right, we're going to start in Google Earth today. Now, um, for this channel, we've made a lot of maps, we've had a lot of fun, but I thought we'd start doing something a lot more interesting. Well, not necessarily interesting. I haven't seen it done before on a YouTube channel, but we're going to do it on this one just because we can. We are actually going to be mapping an entire world, okay? A unique fantasy world. We'll do the chat makes map and all that stuff. And I hope you guys can hear what I'm saying. So, in order to do that, we need to set a certain scale for our maps. All right. Now, first off, crazy amount of data here. Let's bring sketch down here. Okay, so let's say this is Earth. Okay, let's say this is one side of the Earth, and this is the other side of the Earth. Yay, look at that. Okay. It's really hard to just create a map and just, place it somewhere on the Earth and then create another map that's maybe that big. So you have a little bit of a scale problem, that you'll have like really fine or big details on this, and these will be really small or really big. So, hey, thanks. Good to see you, Malt. What we're going to first do is we're going to divide up the world. Now, instead of, I'm in the Americas right now, and of course we use the happy/annoying imperial system. And in the imperial system, the Earth is roughly, how big is it? About 24,000, 25,000 miles in circumference at the equator. A little bit different the farther north you go. So we're going to take that number, but instead, I was looking at a lot of things, and I looked up kilometers, and instead of this weird, 24.9, if we look at the world in kilometers, it's 40,075. Okay, so we're going to go with kilometers. Now, kilometers is, of course, pretty fun. And our Earth actually, of course, our Earth is that size. Sorry, getting stuff ready. So what we're going to do is we are going to divide up an Earth into bite-sized bits. And we're going to start with that 40,000. And if we are to split the world in half, let's say we split the world in half, of course. This is our 40,000 diameter, radius, sorry. Circumference, sorry, yeah, big, important thing. Okay, so that's 40,000. And this would be the North Hemisphere, this is the South Hemisphere. But right now, we still have a huge problem that we're another 40,000. So let's go ahead and divide it again. So we're going to have north, let's go northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest. Okay, that's we're getting, some places. But again, we are still, if we're making a fantasy map, if we make something the size of the United States, or bigger, that's a lot of detail that we're going to miss. So instead, we are actually going to each of these hemispheres. Now, right now, there's a total of 8, because we're going to do this on the other side too. We're going to take each of these hemispheres, and we're going to divide them in half like this. All right, so what that's going to give us is, so we have 8 times, 4 times 8. We have 32 maps we're going to make. Now, if we have 32 maps, and the world is like ours, 70% water, we're going to divide that by. I totally did that wrong. we're going to make about 4 or 5 maps to cover all the continents. Okay, so step 1, figure out how big you want to divide the world up. In this case, we're going to go 4K. And so, excuse me, 40K. We're going to divide this up. So we're going to take the circumference of the world. That's 40,000. We're going to divide that by 2. Okay, so now we have this part is 20K. We're going to take that 20K and divide it up by 4. And that makes 5,000 kilometers from that point to that point. And that's the size of the worlds we're going to make. Okay, why kilometers? It divides up a lot easier. Okay, so now we've got our dividing up, but let's go to our program that we're going to be making a map in. Well, what does that mean that it's, 5,000 kilometers? A couple things we can do is we can base how many of our pixel size on how many kilometers our map is. In this case, we know it is 5,000 kilometers. So let's go ahead, and if we did 1 pixel per kilometer, that means we have the 5,000 kilometers. So we have the size and shape of stuff. So let's go ahead and throw that in right there. We're going to go, I guess, work with a square. We'll get to that in a little bit. But we now have the size. We're also going to, instead of, different planets, if you say something's like X miles, you might break the immersion of your group you're working with. So something we can do is we can take this, what did we say, 50,000? No, 5,000? We can take this 5,000 kilometers and we can make this 5,000 into a measurement that won't throw people out of your game. Will kind of seem more natural, okay? Now, using the Earth as a reference, the standard person, okay, we're going to do this, don't save. Okay, so the standard person, and this is according to, I started just asking, trying to find out, but there was a lot of information about where things were. So I'm going to give you guys 4 references on how long stuff is, how long things should be, and stuff like that. Also went into some historical stuff, but in the end, we're going to use a specific measurement, and we're going to use, that measurement is going to be kilometers per day. All right. And the average human being, someone that's just kind of moseying around, can do between, let's say, 15 to 25 kilometers a day. If you're really hustling and you really know what you're doing, let me grab this number 2, you can get up to, I have this all written down. You can get up to 30 to 40 kilometers a day. That's like pro level. Now, the distance on here is based on, we have no mountains. Okay, we have no oceans. We have nothing like that. So this is a straight 0.1 to 0.2. Okay, and we're going to say that's 25 kilometers a day. Cool. Okay, 25 kilometers divided by, and we're going to divide 5,000 kilometers by that. So let's do that now. We're going to divide that by 25. And then we get 200. So in order to walk the area we're doing, it's going to take you about 200 days. The Earth, on Earth itself, if you traveled the entire length, let's say the circumference of the world, it'd take you about 5 to 6 years. If it's totally flat with no oceans, about 3 to 4 years to move that distance. So, this is a good 3 months or so. Yeah, no, good 6 months to get across this area that we're going to be creating today, according to these measurements. So, and we're now going to take this 5,000. So this is going to be 200. We're going to divide the map up to walking per day into 200 units. Now, to show enough detail, though, we're actually going to mess with that pixels. I hope this is not too boring for people. The pixels that we are creating, instead of going the 8,000 a pixel per mile, we want kind of a better resolution to meet with this, 200 days across. So let's go with maybe 8,000 divided by 200. No, excuse me, 5,000 divided by 200. It's 25. Okay, so if we did, so 1 inch equals 25 kilometers. Okay, so let's get to that right now. So that's how we're going to divide up the world. Again, I'll just review this really quick. I know I was rambling a little bit. That's okay. Everybody likes me rambling except myself. So again, first step, to divide up your world, to find out a consistent scale. You have your world here. Okay, circumference. You cut your world in half. There's a little cut symbol. And then you cut it here. So now there is a total of 8 different hemispheres. Then you take each hemisphere and divide it by 4 and 8. And we get 32 squares of the world like this. And if we keep all these together, and again, with our world being 40,000 kilometers in circumference, we take that, do the exact same thing. Again, 40,000. Divide that by 2. That's that. Then we divide that by 2. That's this area. So there's about 10K. And if we, of course, divide that, that's 5,000 kilometers. So that's going to be our scale right now. It's going to be kind of big, but hey, let's do this. All right, so let's get into our age. And again, we take that 5,000, we divide it by 25, we get 200, so it takes 200 days to cross this. So let's go ahead. We'll leave this open now if there's any questions. And let's go into Wonderdraft. And again, this is going to be 5,000 miles. It's going to be 5,000 kilometers. So let me exact conversion for us in the Americas. So that is here. We'll drop this here. So 5,000 is there. And not meters, miles. So it's like 3,000 miles. That's a really good, really good size. All right. So 3,000 miles. Oh, before I do that, since we're now going to start the chat makes a map part of this, we do have some rules. I hope these aren't too crazy, but here's our rules for this. At this point, we're now moving into chat makes a map. Okay. This is chat's map. Dan's just drawing and offering suggestions. Number 2, chat is the ultimate authority on drawing maps. If there's any conflicts or more than one suggestions, then we're just going to grab all those and smush it together. Also, we're going to keep this late 90s PG-13, not 80s, because that scarred me growing up. And I can't spell, so please forgive me. And everything on the stream is for you to use in your own campaign. No one cares. Well, I don't care. No one should either. Also, number 7, if you're a bot or you post adult content, I will ban you. This is also word to AI training. I have any images we create on this chat is restricted by YouTube for AI training, and anything you find here is poison. So probably not a good idea to train your AI on that. Okay, let's go to the main show. There we go. Okay, so we have our map here. And I've already gone ahead and we've gone and instead of, I made a reference together. I went into Google Earth and I pretty much found a square on Google Earth that we wanted to show the size. Let me go ahead and open that real quick. I thought I had that loaded, but apparently I did not. Oh no, where is it? Forgot where I put it. There it is. Okay, correct size. It's a little off. So that is our size. That's 4,000 kilometers. Again, this is provided by the good people at Google Earth Pro. Credit to them. So if this is our map, we can see the size of roughly where things are going to be, how big things are needed to be. Once we get to scale, we'll go back to scale. You know what? Let's do that now since we're here. So we need to find out how big. We're going to use mountains as a reference. So if we're going to the same place, let's go find some mountains. Here's some. And we are going to measure, I don't know, let's grab this guy here. We're going to measure, nope, kilometers. Okay, so that's a pretty big range there. Usually a mountain's about 15 to 25. Yeah, here's a good one. Yeah, that's, God, that is big. Okay, so we know that it's going to be about a day for a big mountain, half a day for a medium mountain, etc., and so forth. So if this is divided up into 200, then our mountains are, we're going to take that number and we are going to throw that here. And it's roughly, not that I went in and did this earlier, that is about the size of the mountains in this, roughly. Might be a little bigger. Okay, so keep that in mind. That is our scale. So let's go ahead and get started. And right now, I am going to, now it doesn't matter where this map is right now. We can make stuff and kind of piece it together, throw stuff and connect it for this world build. It does not matter. So what we're going to do now, we have our scale here. So what do you guys want to do? I guess that's the big question. What do you need for your campaigns? Is there a map that you need? Let me know. Let me know what you want to do. 1 second. All right. So in our map today, let us, we have Africa right now. So let's go with, let's go to Google Earth and we're going to zoom out really far. And we are just going to zip it around and stop it at some place. Again, really far. 1, 2, 3. And we are going to make something similar, not in the location, but something similar right here. All right, we're going deserty. Again, that was as random as I can get. So like, kind of like this area, right? If we were to kind of cut this up, we have 3 Cs, 4, 5 Cs here. So let's say this is our map that we're making. Oops, come back. Is going to be bounded by Cs. Maltrusade said, what about some side which used to be magical, but as technology progressed, a massive war broke out and the magic users were forced into hiding? Ooh, I like that. And instead of using Notepad, oh, look at me. Check this action out. Okay, this is going to be our society. Not you. Trying to copy and paste this, but I'm being annoyed. All right. Okay, that is what this area is. So we're going to have this kind of the area of the 5 lakes. So 5 large bodies attached to this. So this is, if we use the same corresponding area, this is like the middle. You could say this is kind of like the middle of the world, right? We have the Asian continent, Eurasia, Europe, Africa, everything like that. So kind of in this area. So it's going to be kind of dry. But if we notice, if we're going, let's look at biomes really quick. If we're in this area, and that's about 4,000 kilometers, we can range from warm temperate all the way down to savanna into jungle. So let's keep that in mind as we go. Let's go ahead and divide this place up really quick. And we are just going to, actually, now that I think about it, we're going to do something a little bit different. I need a little bigger canvas. Okay, we're going to make this 8K and we'll resize it down to 5K so everything is in order a little bit better. Let's get a reference out. Wherever I put it, I'm sorry guys, I am totally, okay, that's our 8K size, sweet. Okay, so we have Africa here. This is just to give us the idea of features and how things are. So let's go ahead and we're going to divide it up into 4, but we are going to need, I don't know, let's see how many lakes are going to be here. Let's just go to random dice roller. Maybe D5. All right, 4 lake. I don't like, okay, we can do 4. We can do 4. All right, so let's figure out where we want those. Let's make this look nice. Let's, maybe we have, oops, not you. Let's go ahead and start here and let's make kind of a Mediterranean thing going on over here. Maybe it comes up there. Let's lower, on our overlay, let's reduce the opacity. Let's go back to our land. We're still on the land brush. And you know what? Let's do this instead. Let's just fill this entire canvas. Ooh, canvas is not being happy today. It's probably because of all the what's going on here? Did I break Wonder Draft again? I think I broke Wonder Drift. That's okay. All right. Let's go ahead and fill up this entire area with land. And instead of making continents, this is kind of the center of the world, and we know that we have 4 large bodies of water connecting, and maybe 1 ocean. We're just going to make land here, and then we are going to start cutting stuff up. And again, this is going to be our center of the world. And maybe north, like spice traders, miners, like Hans, and south, a bunch of warrior nomad tribes. A few tribes. Okay, sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Well, Crusader, I hope I'm... Hello, Judas. Good to see you. Let's go back to this paste. So we're going to do this, not that, or that. Again, work variation notes. Okay. South. Okay, so south. North, they're like spice traders and miners. So north is going to be hotter than south then. And warrior nomad tribes. Tell me about these war... Mr. Novus. Hey, you know what? Just call me Dan. Or hey, you. Okay, so we know right now from Malt Crusader that our top area, I'm just going to mark this right now so I don't forget. And actually, let's look at the theme. I'm always kind of, I don't know, adventure theme, imagination. Oh, this is imagination. Man, adventure, I want to do, I'm feeling like imagination. Because we have a very distinct hot and cold. We'll just add some pastel color there. Let's make this really big. I'm just going to say hot. Okay, we now know where it's going to be pretty warm. That's great. We're going to need to know that. I do like the concept of inner sea, like a intercontinental sea. What do you guys think of that? So maybe we're going to, this is the first half of a, because if we're looking at Mediterranean, let's look at the Mediterranean here. We could possibly do Mediterranean. Mediterranean runs, yeah, about 4,000 kilometers. So this could be, I think let's make half of this, the first half of that. Uh-oh. Okay, I do not know what's going on here. Apparently, I cannot zoom out. Okay, that's weird. All right. Might just be too big. Maybe we need... That's annoying. Come on, Wonder Draft. Yeah. No, my zoom tools are... Oh, no, there we go. There we go. I guess this, the 8000 is a little too big. Well, you know what? Let's not break it too much. We only got started here. And we'll go back to the 5000. And if that's the case, my computer is about to get nuked. Okay, so for now, a pixel a kilometer. So that's resolution. Probably DPI, we're going to double that. About 200 DPI on this. Okay, there we go. And again, going back, we know things are hot. Okay, so we're going to go that. That's hot. Okay, cool. So let's start on this. Okay, people like that. Hi, Winston Smith. How you doing? Okay, so we will start on our inner sea. And here's the question. Since this is half of an inner sea, so if we were looking back at, you know, the Mediterranean, you know, it would be something kind of like, would see like that much of it. But the question is, where is that? North, south, east, or west? First one says, again, first person in. Let's say this is area 1, this is area 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, planetary system. That's next time. The first part of this video, we talked about dividing up the world into scalable format, that all the scale is consistent. We basically came up with the world is 40,000 kilometers at its circumference, and that each one of our maps are basically 5,000 kilometers wide and tall. But, oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Woodson. That actually does mean a lot. So let's go ahead and, do you guys want to roll on this random for yeah, let's do that again. That was kind of fun. Let's go to D10. 2. Oh, that's interesting. So we have a very, is that okay? Or do people want, does people want a certain point? I've just now numbered this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. D9, okay. We'll just roll it. Cool. Just let me do a D9. Now we'll just do another D10. 7, okay, so that is where it's going to be coming from. So let's say it comes in like this. And we are going to have it again take up a huge portion of our map here. And I'm just kind of cutting into this, just happy like. All right, so that is where our inner sea, let's kind of really make it scraggly. Trademark. Get rid of all this. So this is our first one. Now we got 3 other bodies of water. And since we rolled on this, why don't we roll on everything else where they're at? Sounds good, guys? Actually, oh, I messed up there. Let's come down here. So this is going to be kind of the starting part of our world. There we go. So we have an inner sea there, and we'll figure out where that goes later. Now we have 3 other seas that we are going to put in here via the dice told us so. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So let's go with this bottom one. Nope, can't be 7. Got to do another one. Nope, no 10. Where's 8? No, we just went through 8. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we will keep on doing it until we get one, okay? 3, yay. Okay, so we have another, oops, that is way too big. We have another kind of Caspian Sea lake up here. Again, just a tip, when you are map making, this is a tangent, that is a tangent. We don't do tangents. Or we do, but we make a rule why they're there. Again, the biggest reason that I made all that scaling is for the simple fact that we want this believable. And I'm going to leave some of these little things out, little islands there. Not gonna worry too much about those. There's that. And let's go ahead back to our dice roller and find out where the next one's going to be. And we're greatly reducing the number of dice. 7, I've already took over. Let's see. Let's rename these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll do 6. Okay, that's where we're going. Unless someone has an opinion. And we will do a D6 this time. 1, okay. So we're going to have our little lake right here. And we might just come all the way down here. Okay. Make sure you guys are happy with that. So we already know, since we know there's a lot of, let's use our world as, oh wait, we got one more to do. Sorry, I forgot. We got one more to do, and then we'll just have our basic form here. Again, this was for another project. Really fun website, I'll link that too. Let's go back to our dice roller, and we're going to look at this D6. We're going to roll. Can't do 1 because we already put something there. 6. So 6 down here too. Okay. So if we're here 6, this is kind of tricky. Because if we come up like this, I don't know, that's kind of cool. I don't know. Let's, we'll just kind of blot out the 6. Kind of creates this cool little sub. I'm going to come over here too. Kind of give us something interesting. Wait, that's not. Yeah, okay. Cool. Cool. All right. Neato. We've already talked in our world campaign guide. We've already talked about Malt Crusader. We've got a massive war now. All our magical tribes, the magic people, are in hiding. That'd probably be magic critters too, or is there like sacred critters that they've allowed to keep their magic? Is this, name-giving races, to put it in a term? What do you guys think that's left with magic? Do we have any magic left? And is one of our themes, are we pulling to Brandon Sanderson? And one of our themes is that magic is coming back, which I am so not opposed to, that I really like. Rebel against token. Okay, so that's going to be hot. Let me fill in these areas. Okay, so yeah, let's see that. Well, while you guys are choosing on that, just adding some more. Oh, thank you, Malt. Okay, so like everything's gone into hiding. If it's magical, it's not there. And hunted to extinction. Okay. A little dark, but we haven't hit old ones yet in our chat. Cool. I'm very excited about using Google Doc now. All right, so if we are, go into that. Why were they hunted? What kind of magic was hunted? Was it because the magic was detrimental to the environment? Was there a religious reason? I think that's the next question. Was it a series of both? And if the magic's coming back, is it the same magic or something? Isn't that The Witcher? That's like 5 or 6 other books. We could say that's sort of Shannara, anything like that. I think the key is, why was the magic hunted down and got rid of? And I'm not really I've read the first Witcher. I've read the books, like his original books, but haven't read the others. But no, yeah, Judas, what's going on there, bud? You seem to know a lot, so anything you'd like to add, that's awesome. Okay, so we're going to get rid of these. I'll give you a second to type. Now, with our map here, I think we're going to add some islands. Let's go ahead and look back here. So we're kind of about that big. No. So if we're in this area, okay. That's 2000. Yeah, this might be a little smaller. Okay, we might need to trim back this bad boy a little bit. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and raise this. We're going to make it a little rough. Brush size about right there. And we're going to need bigger brush size than that. That's going to take all day. Okay, that is going to take all day. So we're going to come back here. We're going to just kind of maybe fill in these. Not too much, though. Right now, this just looks like a country, so we really got to go in and work on the coastline and make it all, I don't know, except I kind of like that. Kind of like that right there. What do you guys think? Wheel time. Good books. God, good books. Okay, let's just make some islands down here. Kind of split the sea up a little bit, and we'll have an island the size of Crete. Oh, look, it looks like Crete. Let's not do that then. Avoiding tangents. And again, we're of course drawing big. We're going to edit small. Maybe we'll throw a little thing there. And this suddenly looks like a snake, and we don't like snakes, so that's there. Okay. With them, maybe the magic. Okay, cool. So magic that was got rid of. Now, when we talk about shamanistic, are we talking about, because there's a lot of different definitions of shamanistic magic. Are we talking about magic? Winston, good to see you. Yeah, Dragon Reborn's good. Are the shamanistic magics, are we talking about the spirits of the dead? Are we talking about, like ancestral spirits? Are we talking about like World of Warcraft stuff, entities and stuff like that? Because I can easily see if we're walking around with animalistic magic, or excuse me, with ancestor magic, there might be a bunch of people that are like, oh, can't do that. Maybe a religious taboo or something, or some people just don't understand in it. Right now I'm going across this. So we've drawn really big, so I'm going across now, and the scale of our world is really going to be dependent on how rough our coast is. Okay, how scraggly our coast is. So we're going to really want to go in here and mess things up. And also our mountains are going to be another factor in this. So I'm just going in, and for the initial part, I'm just going to subtract this. All right, Judas. Okay, shamanistic animalism magic died off. Why? There was a giant empire that ruled the region centuries ago. They were a brutal regime. Ooh, I like regimes. Human sacrifices the power of their magic. The magic drained the life from the regions, hence the desert and the resurgence where they are overthrown. Knowledge expressed, it's slowly being rediscovered. Oh, cool. Kind of like, now, again, is it okay if I'm copying? I know I'm okay with malt, but if you guys are okay with me copying down or not copying, yeah, roughness in Wonder Draft's good. But we're going to do some extreme stuff. We might be even taking this into Gaia or GeoGen or World Creator and making 3D maps. I got plans for this one. All right, I don't like that too much. I want it kind of a little smoother. There we go. And we'll just kind of come here. Okay, so this regime, let's talk about this regime. We got sacrifices. Okay, now did the magic, why'd they sacrifice? Did it empower the magic? Did it empower the animals? Were they making like chimeras from Full Metal Alchemist and they needed to sacrifice life in order to complete their monsters? That's kind of cool. Make like divine beings that rule for them and stuff like that. Aztecs are cool. Let's do that. Aztecs are awesome. Okay, so we got kind of some Aztecs. Okay, Aztec flavor. So ziggurats. We put zigs. Maybe dark sun flavor or just strictly barbarian. Oh, Batu. Okay, I need to look that up. I'm not entirely familiar with that type of religion, so I want to learn about that right now. I probably, let's go here. Ah, yes. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Okay, we're talking like Anansi and stuff like that. Okay, very cool. I like that a lot. Were they, making their own gods? Were they making their own, very powerful animals that'd be kind of neat. Okay, I'm switching over to mouse right now because it gives me a firmer press, and we're just going to make sure we're using the same size brush to rough up everything here. I like the magic or whatever they were doing killed off this land. So before, this is kind of a cool question. Before this land died, how verdant was it? Let's say on a scale of 1 to 5. Maybe they fell soul, sacrifice their animal gods, just outlive them, and over time turns them into actual gods. Ooh, okay, sweet, sweet. We got religion going on too. All right, we have religion. Okay, sweet, 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 sweet. Thank you very much. Okay, so we got we got Bantu, Aztec. Very cool. Let's talk about form and divine things. Was the animal the peak of the magic of what people were trying to be, or should we do like a mixture of both? So if we had like Jagger, I can't talk. Still trying to figure out how to talk with that. The new mouth. Jaguar warriors. If we had like Jaguar warriors, were they really jaguars and warriors? Were they like splicing things together? Or a mixture of both? Maybe it evolved over time and we can just, throw something at the ground and make it stick. Oh, okay. That's cool. Let's mush those two together, guys. That is okay. What was said from Judas and Malta Crusader? Okay, first, the gods were created are the ones who overthrew these people, and with the end of the sacrifices, became normal animals again. With that right there, do they have a potential to be redefined? To become what they once were? And this is really cool. I like this. Maybe this totalitarian regime suppressed religion, which caused the clergy and magic wielders to rise up, and the magic users lost the war. Oh, okay. So let's have timeline. I think we got something really cool here. Okay, so let's make this a little bit bigger so I can see. So timeline, bad guys, totalitarian regime. Let's say regime. Aztec animal. And they made the gods, but the mages rose up. That's cool. That's cool. They made animal gods. We're going to just say hybrid. A little question there. Animal hybrid gods, and then they maybe other practitioners of other magic rose up and got squashed. and they got squashed by the gods won. That means our regime is still in place. However, what if the regime is like we said before, that Malt said that their society basically, yeah, they won, but they died out after a while. They're they just sucked the life out of everything. That'd be kind of cool. So let's talk about these guys that rose up. If we're modifying animals and lands, are these guys like magic users that got ticked off and started to go like, hey, heck no, we're not doing this. Free the gods or something else. And then the gods they try to free just was like, you guys, this is our kingdom, and you're toast. I kind of like that. I really kind of like that, actually. Good lore, guys. So the baddies won, and the baddies destroyed themselves. Boy, that's not relevant today. Oh, sorry, that came out. I will try not to say anything political, but it is very much on my mind here in the States. All right. We're just going to make a little things here and a little more things here. Little things here. All right, check that action out. Okay, we got some good things going. We need to shrink this area, though. I'm feeling it's a little too big. So let's go ahead and raise some stuff up. And I think we're going to do kind of a peninsula here. Actually, why don't we do... Anytime. I guess let's do peninsula down here. Because we don't want an Italy thing going on. And of course I sit and make a Italy thing. Maybe it's an island. We'll figure that out next time or whenever we come back to this map. And now let's just carve away at this guy. That's fun. Kind of a grease thing going on there. That'd be really interesting. This tyrannical society, not that it's parallel to AI right now, they create their own gods. They create these animals. They pretty much exalt these animals into something amazing, but the animals become the tyrants. And when the nature worshippers or the other magics tried to overthrow them, those beings pretty much shot everybody down. Sacrifice went away, and those animals reverted into back to what they were. Man, that'd be cool. I think that'd be very, very cool. Okay, internet check. Am I still streaming okay? I just got a little bit of a glitch. I'm really enjoying this map. Okay, so we got Aztecs. Now, those magic users, I know the original concept is they went into hiding. And we could do a couple things there. We could say some of them GTFO'd. Get the heck out of there. We could say some of these guys, maybe some of the nature guys made these underground caverns that preserved life. I don't know. What do you guys think? Honey, wake up, new animalistic. No, well, yeah, no, all the evil gods were furries. No, yeah, let's not go there. No, but I kind of like that. I kind of like that. Maybe the humans that made them realized that they were getting too powerful and they reached out to other magical entities or magic people. But these beings that they made were like, hey, you made us. This is what we are. This is our, this is our regime. This is our world. So, yeah, we're going to fight and just kick the crap out of these guys. I like that. I like that a lot. And then they just, kill all your sacrifices and Okay, if they kill off sacrifices, then they would start needing to either create more, go raid slaves, go raid other people, bring in more volunteers. Did they keep? Um, what do you guys think? Creatures that are power gods that are restricted to prevent people. Ooh, dyspraxic, nice, very nice. Okay, so some of the things remained in power. So we have kind of this underlying the baddies. There's a couple things still left. There's a couple things. Highlander 2. Oh, did they devour each other? Okay, no, that's good. Let's do that. Hiding. I'll worry about spelling later. Put that for dyspraxic. So basically, their animal gods ate each other. What about and they were maybe a higher nutrition count than humans. And the ones that were left were either out trying to take humans or they were out eating others. I like that. Okay, so Highlander furries. Got it. Very cool. All right. So I'm just filling in stuff, just lowering and raising stuff, making sure our scraggliness is absolutely, you know, consistently. Okay, if we're over here though, we're not going to have that much erosion, so it's going to be a little bit smoother. But I still think this guy here is too big. Guys, I need a decision on. No, 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 no. We're talking like. No, we're talking about like gross things. There's too many eyes and too many joints on these things they made, and they didn't get it right, and they're like, kill me. Did we just go Lovecraftian again? Always go Lovecraftian. Okay, so these things devoured each other when they ran out of humans. And then now there are only one or two left, and they're trying to recruit people. Now, why are there only one or two left? I mean, strongest of the fittest? Did they disappear? Did they go into hiding? Did some guy with magic sword with fill in the blank elf character come in and just kick some butt? Were they defeated in some way, or did they still remain in this area and they've just kind of been. That'd be kind of interesting. Are they still ruling? Is the regime even gone? All right. Let's come in here. I have no mouth and I must scream. Hoya. You mean Digital Circus? Oh, look, we made a lake in the middle of the place. I like that. Kind of digging that lake. All right. So we got a lake there. Yeah, that's looking good. I like that. It's broken up. We're going to come grab this coast really quick and just come down with it like this. So we kind of have this flow, this weight flow. I don't know if I like that weight flow, actually. That's probably better. I kind of like that a lot better, actually. Yeah, let's see that. So it's not coming down. It's coming up. Just going on the feels here. Just the feels. All the bud, ant, plane, choose animals. Ones could be left. Amalgamation of due to the powers trying to fight dominance. They're starting to form something new. Ooh, so something has turned the corner. Something has happened to these. Thank you to Sprax the Penguin. Really appreciate that. Okay, cool. Very cool. So something has happened, and we are now, they're, abominations, amalgamations of what they were, and other stuff. Okay, keep typing, guys. As you type, we're going to start looking at biomes if our world is 4,000, if the circumference of the world is 40,000 kilometers, that means, like right here, in the time, because we go to jungle, into very tropical, into savanna, whoops, into desert, Mediterranean, and upper Mediterranean. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 different biomes. So let's go ahead and we said in the north is, do we want the desert in the north? I thought that was cool. I like mixing things up like that. So if that's there, let's put a extreme tropical down here. I'm just going to color this in very quickly, and that's going to determine some other things. So extremely tropical, and this is going to be our lush savanna. Then this is going to be kind of our, not our, I don't like that color. I really don't like that color. Let's make another one. We can go with the yellow. Just kind of not keep pastel. Not that like that. Oh, wait, yeah, that kind of sucks. Let's do something else. Oh, forgot. We're going to save this. First map, world, middle world. Oh, that's a cool name for this place. Oh, okay, cool. So we got a green man thing going on. Oh, God, so they're like these nasty amalgamations. Thank you, Dyspraxic. So they basically started out as these, beneficial animal gods, and now they're just, ugh. That's cool. It's like Egyptian gods gone evil. Okay, so this is going to be our plains and hot savannas. And we just said that there is a green man effect going on. They're either platypuses or crabs. I like the crabs. Let's do both. Why not? So we now have 2 gods, and we can figure these out a little bit later. We have crab, thing, and a platypus. Platypus. And that's what they started as. They're not there anymore. Okay, now that we've got divided stuff up here, someone, I believe, by devouring another. There's their numbers. Yeah, they ate each other. That's cool. Animal, human, dominant, blah, 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 blah. Green man areas. Okay, so we have these strange areas. Maybe let's say this dips, and we're going to kind of have this dip down. We're going to have this desert dip down. And you know what? I'm thinking, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of changing this a little bit. What if we had the desert, this desert band right into this area? Because this is kind of like the focal point of our desert there. Then we have plains here. Then up here we start having jungle. Let me know if you don't like this. Let me know if you want to do something else. And make maybe some savannas here. We'll really accent the desert here. And maybe we have some steps, or mountainous. Or we could reverse that. You know what, I think I liked what we did originally better. I really think I like that better for this. Again, this area we can always come back to, and we can also change. So there's that. Here's our savanna. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about mountains, and we're going to, so this is kind of Mediterranean here. Then we're going to have a desert up through here, and we're going to have some green men areas. And I like those. Now, are those green man areas traps? Is it some of these ancient devouring entities? Are they using the green man zones as traps? That'd be cool. All right. Okay, so let's have the desert just come down here. Stretch down here. There. Okay, that feels a lot better. I kind of like that a lot better. Okay, so now that we've got that, let's go in and we need to get a mountain size. Let's come in here. Turkey's awesome. So, yeah, 20 kilometers isn't bad. Ooh, what's this? Ooh, cool. So 20 kilometers isn't bad. So 20 kilometers, it's 200 kilometers. So those are 1/10 of an inch. All right. So let's find. Okay, so that's about right for size of mountains. Yeah, that's about right for size of mountains. Okay. Do you guys like the... Actually, no, let's not do those. Let's do these. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and erase all this crap. Go back to our mountains. So what if those the green man thing, what if that's the... Well, let's kind of flip this on its head again. Let's say those things are... Let's say this thing's not good. Let's say that this thing, whatever's there, it's kind of using the oasis as a lure. The oasis area as a lure to get people to come in. We're just going to, there we go. We're just going to put it smack dab. And maybe this is the ruins of where the big capital used to be. I kind of like that, if you guys are cool with it. Kind of like this eye thing going on here. And we'll figure this out. Ancient could be always down my parasite green man zone. You live there, but he must be food. Ooh. So it basically, yeah, you drain. People don't live as long. What are some side effects people are getting drained by this thing? Is that our crab or platypus guy doing that? Okay, there's a green man zone. Green man zone's kind of big, which I like. I think I really like that. Next thing we have to do, we have to kind of decide fault lines and other stuff like that. And that's going to modify a lot of things here. So I'm going to take a quick screenshot of this. I'm actually really digging this map. Let's save first before I mess anything up. So we're going to snapshot. We'll go back to paint. Okay, this is our map right here. We're going to divide these into areas again, and we'll roll on this. And these areas, we're going to do one area, and that's where it begins. And the next area, where they're just another faction that asks the people, the dominant faction, powered animals, great gods. These gods power themselves, but somehow are tied to the land, limiting them. That is cool. Land starts to dry up. These things get hungry. They eat each other. Mages and other people rise up against them. They squash them. And eventually we go all Highlander with these abominations. They absorb essence of another thing and mutate into something else really creepy. Ooh, I like this. Okay, so maybe it's me doing the Lovecraftian thing. I don't know. Still enjoy it. Ooh, calligraphy brush. Nice. Okay, so here is our map. We are going to divide this again into... Let's do this. So this is going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do this a little faster. 10, 11, 12, 16. What we're going to do is we're going to roll two numbers. Let's say if we rolled number 6 and rolled number 16, then the mountain range or the plate, whatever it is, would run from 6 to 16. How's that sound, guys? Just kind of RNG this whole thing. And to do that, let's clear this. How do I clear this? Oh, sweet. Okay, cool, cool. No, I don't want to do that. So we're going to roll a d20, I guess. Well, let me... No, okay, so d20. Course 19. We need something real. Okay, 12. So our first mountains are going to start in this area. We'll do it... Well, so mountains are starting... We're noticing a big thing, mountains right there. And let's go back to that. Let's see where these mountains end. These mountains end at 9. So we are just going... We're going that way. That's neat. That's very cool. Okay. Everybody okay with that? Usually I like mountains kind of going sideways, but if we put a mountain range right here, like that, that would explain why we have such a large desert. Especially if the Coriolis effect was, this blue is our Coriolis effect. If the wind is coming like this, and actually, that'd make this entire area very verdant, and then we have jungles. Let's do that. I think that sounds fun. Okay, so let's start mountains. Do you guys want me to use custom mountains? Mountains that I did that I'll post for you guys? These my mountain. Yeah, these are my mountains. Not those mountains I messed up with. That's another video I'm making. Okay, let's do these mountains. Okay, so we're going to start our mountains over here, and we're going to make a large... What are the strategic resources land like? Does this land have copper, tin, gemstones? That's why we got water 1, 6, 11, 16. The bottom left is moving away. Okay. Bottom left is moving away. So we're actually, the land's moving away from the top, and we're starting to split where that big lake is. So this is like Rift City then. So if this is a rift and we're starting to push mountains in this area, I like that. I really like that. So things are getting scrunchy. And you know what? To enhance that, let's go back to our land and let's add some little lakes here and there. Not that much. Just show we're kind of getting a rift thing like in Africa. Tell you that much. Going to Africa's on a bucket list. Heck, I might even like to live there at some time. Okay, so we're here, and we have a rift thing going. So let's get our... So maybe we have a divided mountain range. Let's do that. Okay, let's go back to... So what if on yield mountain range... Okay, our primary mountain range used to be here, and it ran like this. We're talking Alps. But now the things are dividing, so we have some of the mountain range coming up like this, and another part of the mountain range coming in like this, or maybe up in that area. That makes things fun, areas to explore. So let's do that, if you guys are cool with it. How is Kenya? And, you know, that's... Judas, thank you for being here. Because that just warms my heart that someone from Kenya's here. I love that. Okay, so let's go ahead and we are going to start on our mountains. Let's make it a little bigger. Yeah, a little small. Let's go 15, and we're going to lock the symbol scale. Or do we want to do different mountains? I don't like those. Don't like those. I'm being picky. Do not like those. There's Dotty Mountains, which I really enjoy. I think we might do Dotty Mountains. Except they look really like... You know what? We're doing my mountains. Yay! Okay, so our original mountain range, and I guess this is cracked off, and we're just going to start. And this is our main peaks. We're going to start here. We have another, this is where the mountains used to be. If this is splitting, to answer Dyspraxis Penguin's question, if this is splitting in half, anytime Earth moves, you're going to have your heavier. Now that's a good question. Does your heavier elements, do those run into the water? Are we? No, we're probably cracking, so we're revealing a lot of minerals, a lot of gemstones. Yeah, the dotty assets are good. Oh, I was looking at Mount Kenya, just actually for the first part of this video, that region, just comparing mountain sizes, because I really didn't. There are some figures that the search stuff gave me about how big mountains were, and I was like, you're wrong. So I went to Google Earth and referenced it, and lo and behold, those search results, of course, generated by AI, which I don't mind. I'm actually warming up to some parts of large language models. Generative, no, but large language models, yes. All right. So that's kind of where our mountains, they're being split apart here. They're being split apart. You guys want to do volcanoes? This is not 40,000. This is only 5,000 kilometers across. Because if we're doing 5,000, again, we've taken the world, our little world here. We're going in kilometers because it's a lot funner to carve up the world in kilometers. So if we divide it up in two, each of these hemispheres, 20,000 miles in, 20,000 miles wide. Then we cut it again. That becomes 10,000. We cut that again. That becomes 10,000, yes, and then we cut it again, it's 5,000. So this is 5,000 kilometers. So on Google Earth, that's going to be roughly about there to there. So that's, these mountains are a little big, aren't they? Blasted? Those mountains are a little big. We want small little mountain. But again, a significant range. We're talking like a mountain range the size of the Himalayas. That's all big and nasty and stuff like that. Okay, so let's go back to 10. Oh, whoops, I have it locked down. You did not want me to lock this down. Now, currently, just if you guys are using WonderDraft, there is a little bit of a bug in it. Okay, that's as small as we can get with mine. So I might have to, I'm not going to redo them because I don't want to. Dotty assets are too big too for this. I was kind of worried about this. So we're just going to go with, we'll use mine. And we'll say these are going to be our very biggest mountain ranges. Talking frickin' huge mountain ranges. And so we're going to make many mountain ranges. Okay, so we're going to have one range up here. One, and again, these have been ripped apart. Did the ripping happen recently? Did that happen? We'll do that because things are being moved and stretched, so we're kind of getting this continent type action going on here. Continent action going on here. Then we're going to come around here where the plane is. Okay, so this is our world spine. All right. Actually, now that I'm thinking it, the scale's going to be rough. But we're going to make it work. And if I have to go make more mountains, I'll go make more mountains. All right. So that's there. I will have a link in Discord. I will save this map, put it on my Google Drive, and give you guys a link to it. That way you can download it. You're going to run into a problem, though, that the assets are going to cause you. So let me get this map done today. We'll finish up because I want to, I want to hit these maps fast and hard. Not fast, but let's just get one done. We got 32 of them to go. So this is 1 out of 32. Actually, if you take, I don't know, 32 times that by 0.75, it's 24, or let's say 32. Can I do negative on this? Yeah, I'll figure it out. We probably have 15 to 20 at the very most. Put some here. Shift out. That's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. We're just going to keep the mountains like this. The awesome thing, if we ever want to come back to stuff, let's put some mountains around this. So there's no reason in the world why this green man place should be here. And you know what? Let's give this some lakes. But again, the question remains: what do we got here? Is this the crab god or the platypus god, or was there a recent devouring? Ooh, I like that. And a devouring has taken place. A devouring. I'm going to write that down as a keynote. Hope you guys are cool with that. Devouring. Green man goes where he wants. What if we did both there, Judas? What if we had the green men still wandering the world every now and again and planting gardens? But in this area, we have one of the soul-sucking, one of the devourer animals down there eating things. All right. There we go. Just put some more here. All right, so there's that. Now, we have a large area here. This next question is probably going to be the big one. Is down here we have the winds going from west to east, and that means the winds would be going east to west here. So let's put a mountain range here. Actually, let's not do that. Let's put the mountain range here, because that's kind of a fun contrast between rain shadows. And so this is almost the equator line. So you're going to get huge things going on here. That's neat. Okay, so we'll put some mountains here, and maybe some mountain right there. Just kind of, make another little network there, another little network there. Awesome. Ooh, okay, green men bad. Are there multiple of those guys? Are there multiple green men walking around and chomping onto people? I remember a 40K video that someone just released, and hey, big mountain. It was some people were asking for helps for Space Marines, and then they saw Space Marines come, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's the Emperor's Angels. They're here to save us." Yeah, wrong kind of Space Marines. Maybe that's kind of the Green Men thing every now and again, or maybe the last good Green Men was devoured. That's what kicks off our current timeline. And maybe that Green Man was what was keeping everything else in check. And once that guy bit the dust, then the other animal things are like, "Oh, all right. It's dinner time, Kronk." All right. Get some more mountains. That looks good. We're happy there. Happy there. Happy there. Now let's go into some smaller mountains. these dotties. Oh, except I really like the dotty. Oh, this sucks. My principles, all of them. You know what? I'll replace the mountains. I'll come back to this. We'll just keep working on this as it is. And once I'm done with the stream, I don't want to sit and you guys wait for me to, deal with me being undecisive on stuff. All right. So here we go. Or you know what? I could make some mountains that would go with these well. What the heck? Maybe I'll just do that. All right. Yeah, but I really like my mounts here. Took me a few to learn them. Okay, so these are big craggy mounts. Okay, cool. Oh, that's another thing. Yeah. Okay. So the green men we don't know who they are. We do know that, like what Sprax the Penguin said, they drain magic. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so we got magic draining, green men if they show up. They might be nice, they might not be nice, they might eat you, they might not eat you. Either way, what if the green men were ancient heroes? Motion detected at the door. Oh, thanks, Alexa, for telling me there is motion at the door. Okay, now we're going to bump up these larger mountain regions and kind of spread them out. Actually, no, these are actual mountains. They're going to be that size. We'll just really up the density when we're making the actual spines. There we go. That was better. Do some there. All right, and then we're going to jump in and we are going to start on rivers. And rivers are really interesting things. So, Alexa, play Never Gonna Give You Up. Never Gonna Give You Up. And similar songs. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Hey, it worked. I don't want to get demonetized, though. Because that man is making a mint, which I'm okay with. He deserves to. Okay, here is our initial area. I'm liking this. All right, liking that a lot. Okay, so we're here now. Let's go ahead and we're going to go back into paint. We're going to talk about where weather goes. All right, so Coriolis effect is created a couple ways. The rotation of the planet plus mass, plus a variable mass affects the rotation, and the rotation also affects how many of these things go. Now, quick review. So if this is our world, I need a bigger pen. Give me the big pen. If this is our world's kind of like this. We have equator, tropic of Cancer, Arctic Circle. We have one Coriolis effect of the winds going like this. This isn't our world. This is just an example. I don't want to get my head bit off. Okay, so we have that's going counterclockwise. So these bad boys down here are just the opposite, are going clockwise. And then we switch back. And then we switch back. Okay, so in our map here, since this is our equator line, okay, if that's our equator, then this would be the Tropic of Cancer. Let me double check on that. Cancer. Yes, there's tropic Cancer. Should be right about there. There, and we're getting down. So we're going to have 3 of these. Actually, let's just do 2 right now, but we're going to switch it about right there. So our first guys, we're going to come in like this down here. And then these guys, we're going to come in like here. The reason we're doing this is so to make rivers, shadow effects, rain shadows. So if we're on this, then we're going to start making some. Get erase, drop this down to, let's make some rivers. Okay, so in this area, all our rain is coming from the southwest up into this area. So our rivers are, since we have such a large mountain range, is that 12? Good grief, damn, can we not? There we go. So here's our rivers. And they're going to get caught up here, and all the liquid and stuff is going to come down into this area. Let's go ahead and move up here. In our rift, especially, since our bigger mountains are, well, they're being torn apart. So that means our rivers up here are starting to meander. And if your river meanders, it's going to be placing a ton of nutrients in the ground. Hopefully, unless it meanders a lot or there's lots of flooding, then you're going to have erosion problems, then, bifurcation problems, and a bunch of other things. So there's that guy here. But these areas are probably, maybe not this area. We're just going to put 1 or 2 up here, because we're kind of moving away from that effect. But in these areas, we're just going to have a ton of rivers because of all the wetness. You have humid sea and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if he had most played music video up all the time. I don't know about that. I think it might be. I think I don't know though. It's definitely the most played meme. And I still get a kick out of it, out of all these years. And I was there when the magic began. Okay, we've got a large jungle area right here. Got a huge jungle area right here. And we are going to make this into, because there's a lake with a lot of pressure here, we're going to edit this like this. And we are going to go all Amazon on this thing's butt. All right. That's fun. Maybe some highlands there. Yeah, I don't know. It looks kind of weird. Let's get rid of one of these. Let's get rid of this mountain. Maybe not Amazon yet. Maybe not here. Maybe not here. We're definitely going to do this kind of thing. I know, we'll think about that. Any input would be more than welcome. We're gonna have another one right here. I mean, it might not be like the Amazon, it might be kind of like the Congo or parts of, southern China. It's just wet. There's a ton of rivers. Let's do that. That way, the feature of this part of the map is not the big, we got a big jungle down here, but our big feature where our eyes are going to go, a river from ocean to ocean? No, we already said this is our inland ocean, and these are our rivers. I mean, our lakes. So we got lakes and rivers, and I won't be guilty of a massive faux pas right there, Judas. We went up in size. We don't want that to go up in size. We want that to stay at 4. All right, some storm stuff here. Going to change that around a little bit.
Motion detected at the door.
Maybe something like that. That. Some of these will add a couple little, lakes and stuff. looking good there, looking good there. I hope. Let me know if you guys are liking this or not liking this. I will change it again. You guys, stupid 12. You guys are the masters of what we're doing here. So we now have well, not much of a shadow. But let's do this really quick. Let's bring this guy down here. And we're going to do all kinds of crazy stuff with that. Maybe we'll have that. So we kind of have a highland in this area. But again, we want this really Mediterranean, wet. Well, this area up here is going to be Mediterranean. Maybe we don't. Let's reduce some of these rivers just a touch. Not too much. Now this area here, our rift area, is going to be, since it's down lower, since it's being ripped. Hey, Luke. Oh, dude, Brazil. Awesome. Lucasi Vendetta. Tell me if I'm saying that right. Lucasi Vendetta. Thank you very much, sir. I hope your players like it. Yeah, that really does mean a lot to it. And now I'm verklempt. Yeah, glad you like those maps. All right, thank you. Okay, now we're gonna just add a couple more here. Oh, let's come up here. So our rain shadow now up in this area is coming from here. Still deserty, still steeps. Maybe we just have a really large river in the savannah. Kind of like that. And we'll put another river up there. Now, all of these mountains are going to connect to all these areas are going to connect to each other. So we'll need to keep a couple things, congruent, like the colors, and also in Wonderdraft, what is it called? The themes. That way, everything looks like we're drawing on the same map, so it can be connected. It's going to be a big freaking map. Okay, so that's our other rain shadow right there, and we have a rain shadow down here. This area is dry. Maybe we just have one or two right here, one or two right here, one or two right here, and like that. Okay, so we're going to have now some environmental changes. Let's go ahead and save this. We're going to change the environment up quite a bit now, okay? Because our Mediterranean, we are going to let's start coloring stuff, and then we will go back and let's make that brush a lot bigger. So our desert area, since we have a lot of rain coming in this area, we're going to come down like this. We're going to expand that savanna over in this area. And again, to blend colors, it's very much a watercolor effect with Wonderdraft. Outrage is what I'm going to make the height map out of. And let's do kind of a very pale green. But oh no, that looks like butt. We will not do that. We'll just come here and grab the opacity and kind of make our coast like that. I guess we're using really vivid colors unless anyone has any opinions not to. Now our yield desert here though is going to expand quite a bit into this area. Since we have the rain shadow, it's going to go from a very hot desert into very rocky, very, middle of Asia type desert. Maybe there is some water in this area. We'll just make sure we keep our hands on that. Just make sure that it looks nice. All right, down here, since the water, we're going to make this into semi-arid, semi-tropical. This is a large place where all the moisture is getting tripped down. Lukazi, thank you. Again, thank you. And if I pronounced your name wrong, please forgive me. But that really meant a lot. It's It's been kind of a crazy couple of weeks at my house. Son got really sick. He's had 2 surgeries, but I need that, and I appreciate it. And map making helps the mental health because it's doing something. Fighting the physical with mental, fighting the mental with physical. Okay, so we have this little green thing around here. Then we're going to go right to that. And you know what? Let's add some more mountains here. Just really cut this off. Up in this area, we're just going to cut all of this off. There we go. He's doing good. He's out of the hospital. He's recovering really well. I'd tell him to say hi, but I'd embarrass him. New stuff. Okay, so there we go. There we go. Okay, so we have this big old spine thing going on here. All right, that's not too bad. It's a little, I don't want to say a little bright. It's really rich in color. Let's just kind of play with the theme a little bit. Really like that. Don't like feudal. I'm kind of digging this paper thing. Maybe we'll draw this in imagination and then put it into paper. Why deprive myself? Hey, Gareth. Oh, wait, I said your name. Forget that, please. Okay, so we're here. Let's kind of color some more stuff in, and then we'll start on yield trees. Okay, we're going to go in. Oh, crap, I got rid of that orange. Melt. Oh, that's it. Good enough. Okay, where the rain shadow at, we're going to just move this orange color down into places, kind of showing it's spreading. Then up here, definitely we're going to go a little nuts. I don't know if that's a stain, but I really don't like that. But we're going to come here. Got a really big desert. And up here, instead of going this orange color, let's start going in this kind of nasty slate color, kind of, steps. Come back with this yellow. We need to add another color yellow. I really should have saved it. Oh, boop. We're just past that through there. We have an opening here, so we'll put that there. Let's take a long look at this desert. How are we doing? Okay, maybe the desert even reaches all the way down into this area. Just using a lot. There we go. All right. Got this band of desert. We'll figure out what goes on here. Let's come now down to our area down here. We're just going to throw green on the coasts. Kind of make it a little darker. There's our green. There's our green. This is Mediterranean. We're also going to come back and our highlights. Highlights are about here. And those highlights are going to be on the mountains of our opacity, so we really get this blocked in fast. So we can move to forests. So all these areas are a lot higher, so we're going to use a ascending color, i.e. color coming towards you, like a yellow. Well, yellow's good for this. Red, of course, is super good for this kind of thing. And we're just highlighting the high parts. And this allows us to make highlands over here. I'm really not liking this. Here, well, we're gonna fix this really quick. There we go. I'll need to save this. That looks better. Okay, cool. Back to painting. All right, so We have in this middle area, this desert area, and all the way up to here, except I'm not liking this brown. Looks like I gave it a black eye. So we're going to come back and fill this in. So it looks better up there. There we go. It's kind of like the big desert thing going north. That's not bad. Okay. So in this area that we're at, what is our time frame? How long ago did this happen? How long was the devourings taking place? I really like that. What happened? It's a devouring. I need to make these lines thicker on these mountains. We'll make that better. Anyways, back to coloring. Again, ascending colors or colors that move towards you. Come down here. Probably a lot more gently than I'm doing. Again, we're thinking Mediterranean. Again, 1 pixel is a mile. That there. Get some highlands and stuff. Vibrance to the map. Yay! All right, there we go. Okay, that's pretty good for the land. Let's just add a touch of more green up in these areas. Not yellow, green down. There we go. Just a screen of that. All right. 5 years long enough. It's Asian by recent long deal of laws. I think there's a lot of, maybe these beast gods or whatever, these devourers, they went to town. So in the last 500 years, let's say the last 500 years, the decline started about 500 years and it's really gotten bad in the last 200 years. And now we're moving into a situation where things have been lost. People forget what's there. The really nasty monsters have either eaten each other or been eaten mostly. But something has happened to make it's like Terraria, the jungle stirs, which I think is really cool. Okay, let's throw some. Boop, boop. Let's get some trees here. I don't know which trees to use. Those aren't bad. Little dark. Yeah, my mountains I'm going to have to replace those. They're not showing up well. I'll do that later. I will do that later. Let's go with these trees because they're cute. They're precious. And we're just going to come in here and we are just going to start placing them. I'm just going to outline stuff of where they're going to be. And then I will fill these in. So like with any good rain shadow, your trees are going to be bumped up against the mountains. Anytime you have a raise in elevation, you're going to get more of a rain shadow. All right. Things are forgotten. Things you forget will eat you. Unless you want to become part of them, join us. Put this right here. And again, I'm just marking these willy-nilly because I got to replace those mounds. They're not looking good at all. So we'll have a lot of trees there. Then a lot of trees here. I'm just going to do spray brush. And I'll figure out details later. because I am going to get picky on this because I find the stuff I really like, I really start getting picky with. And you guys do not deserve to sit with me through me being picky about maps. That is the last thing you need. That's why it takes me about, almost half a year to create one of my really big maps. That in life. Okay, so we have them here. We have some here. Here, down here. And this area is going to be our jungle area. Very hot, very humid. Maybe we should put some swamps down here. That'd be fun. But for now, let's just do like some primeval jungles here. There we go. So people who see the last true Greenman was devoured. That'd be interesting. I like that. So our last Greenman was devoured, and shenanigans ensued. And with him gone, the beings that were left in this area, in the desert area, can now start spreading again. But now they're like almost incomprehensible. They're different than what they used to be. Like example, if you had like an Egyptian god like Basat, it used to be this cat god, and then all of a sudden, let's not do that many. And now it's just freaking ugly. Got some dog face coming out of it. And the green mans have been either corrupted or devoured. What if that's where they got the magic with the green men? What if that's where they kind of learned some of their magic now? Once they learned the magic, they were like, hey, we can use this to devour stuff. And instead of creating, using magic to create the green life and stuff like that, we're going to change our little pet rover into, a 40-pound tentacle monster thing. 400-pound or something. Yeah, I like that a lot. All right. All right. Now we'll come up here and we will put just a smattering of trees up in this area, not much. Again, our savannas are there, so we'll just, just kind of do this thing. All right, that's some fun symbolism there. Just more up here. And again, I'll go in and clean this. Then this area, of course, is all desert, so it's going to look awesome. Man, the Dottie stuff, whoever did that, geez, they just nailed the feel of stuff, how it needs to be. So these are going to be our, yeah, I'll do Dottie Mountains, but these are our big sand dunes and stuff. We'll figure that out too. All right. So cool. Cool. Now I'll make this look nicer. Once I get it done, I'll post it probably end of tonight on on.novus.com. And also I'll put the file in. I'll definitely put the file in the Discord. Get a link to that for everybody. But yeah, we'll need to do something different from those mountains. These mountains I made are, the resolution I think is I use, because if I do something like that, it has the same darkness as the Dottie Mountains, but I mean we're looking huge. So that's just something I need to work on. Good to know. Way to improve. And once I get down my mountains, we'll see what we can do, make them available. Really quick note, I know I mentioned it in a couple of videos. Let's put some rivers. I mean lakes up here. Yeah. It's like skip butt. See, I got distracted. Put some lakes in. More lakes. A couple more lakes. Lake here, lake there. All right. And I will get this fixed up so it looks prettier. All right, cool. So it was the changing of life that the green men taught the shamans and stuff, and it was just well, if you have someone that can create life, all right, if you have someone that knows how to do that, uh, it would, you know, they're not going to be benevolent for long. They're going to realize they kind of can make a really good racket here. Just like, hey, you want your crops to grow? Cool, I'll be there in a second. It's going to cost you, and that could have led to totalitarianism. Yeah, I think I like this. I like this a lot. I like where we're going with this. Some things to think about. So we know that this area up here, the top area right here, this is where those beast things were, and I'll flesh this out. And this down here was where this down here is a jungly area, and we'll look at that maybe later, but we haven't done the Lord of that. My voice is going. I'm going to save this really quick. We're going to export this. Let's name this. Let's go 40K world. Ha! 40K world. That's funny. Let's not do that. Kilometers 40 underscore middle of the world. All right. I'm going to let that go. So it'd be really interesting that if we're looking at the last 200, learn to create life by devouring the green men. Yes. What if, like, the green men taught them, the monsters started devouring, and then one of them, maybe the one in the center, actually was able to devour one of the green men. And that's how we got this nice little natural place right here. And that thing's nasty. Green man hunter, green man devourer. That's fun. Okay, now that we got that saved, we can go in and we can export that into some map making software, and we can have some fun other places. Yeah, I need to do this more. My voice is now officially shot. So that happened fast. I got to get my little vocal cords a little thicker or whatever. But it was always, guys, thanks for being here. Thank you so much. The maps on DriveThruRPG, if you've gotten those, you will always have access to said maps. I will be modifying them quite a bit. The original content will always be there, but I'm going to put in images that are a lot better for tabletop role-playing games, online tabletop role-playing games. Those files need to be about 10 meg at the very biggest, and they are definitely not 10 meg at the very biggest. They're kicking around 250. So I like what we're doing here. I really like what we're doing here. Can I save this thing? Yeah, we're going to save this as Big World, the Big World 40K for the win. Didn't I just do that? Big World. Okay, yeah. Hey, we got our theme for this, guys. And then when it's time, we can always go in, and I kind of like this. When we go to paper, it becomes this kind of cool parchment thing here. Again, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I think the key part here is we're consistent. How to find a link to the Discord? I don't know. I am not a Discord person. Let's find out for you really quick. How do I set... Okay, okay. I think this is it. Call me old man or anything, but is that it? I think I did that right. I think I did that right. So go me, go me. I've been learning Blender and Cinema 4D and a bunch of other stuff. So I know Discord's been around forever, but I'm still trying to catch up on everything. Oh hey, nice. Welcome, sir. All right. I'm Dan Doofensmirts, whatever. Cool. Okay, we're going good here. I like this. We'll flesh out a couple more things. If you guys would like, since I'm losing my voice and I'm not going to be able to talk much longer, please, 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 I'll be doing this. I will be doing this next Thursday, same time. There might be some other maps that I will get on and do, but we're all going to connect them together. But let's think of, says Sticker Scream, nice. Think about this jungle area, because if these devourer things, these devourer gods, there's only a couple left, and I think a couple is a really, just a couple of them just kind of has a nice little ting to it. You have merchants starting to go through this area. You're kind of having this uh, trade renaissance, kind of like 800 AD in the Middle East, when like Muslim Islam was being spread, and things were connecting and stuff like that. And granted, Europe was in a kind of a crap show, but hey, you do what you can, right? Well, so is America right now. I mean, the U.S. All right, cool. Okay, I'll fiddle with this. I'll get those symbols replaced. That's scary. Now, are the tribes in the deserts, are they leaving? Are they coming back to this? Are they migrating? Or are they coming back into the area? Because that's kind of a cool story. Don't go out into the sands. There's things out there. People go out there, they're fine. Oh, it's fine. No, you don't understand. And then things might get powerful. I like that. I really think that's cool. I really like that. Can you put some little contrast here? I really, really think that's fun. Okay, very cool. I'll get this looking a lot better, clean it up, make it look good. Did you guys, okay, this is a big question, and I think I just might. I think I'm going to go to the default. Should I do default Wonder Draft symbols, or should I? Oh, the Devourer gods are following him like trails of crumbs. What if that's why this area is safe now? Except for maybe right there. That's awesome. I really like that. Okay. So you have some of these things like wandering into cities, which is a virtual smorgasbord. Like outlying settlements get like totally devoured and eaten and stuff like that. I like that a lot. I really like that. Um, I would say look online. I'll post it if I'm streaming tomorrow. I don't think it's about 50-50 right now, and I don't know, and I don't want to promise. But I will be back. We're going to do another map of this world. I think we're going to do another full map. I think tomorrow, randomly, I'm going to show up and start adding cities and finish stuff up. And I also think that I'm going to add, since you guys want the actual Wonder Draft file, I'm going to replace these custom assets with the default symbols. Even though, no, I kind of don't like some of the symbols. Those might be fine. Those are not fine. Those are okay. I'll just do the default Wonder Draft symbols. And we will kind of go from there, if that sounds cool. That way, when you download it, when you upload it, if you have Wonder Draft, you can have the exact same maps. You can expand them and stuff like that. But you have the same symbol, so you don't have to go through the rigmarole of all. Oops, no, the rules. Oh, the big rigmarole of having to import assets and stuff like that. Either way, guys, thank you so much. Big shout out to all of you, everybody in the chat. I've really enjoyed it. Judas Brennan, thank you. And of course, absolutely, Malt Crusader, Just Brax the Penguin. Special thanks to Winston Smith too. I'm just trying to catch up all the names. I'm trying to find that person that said thank you, that they're enjoying my maps. I really, really appreciate it. If you don't know, Run to Drive Through RPG, my maps are free. They're not gonna be free after the 15th because I need to start making some. I need to start revenue. The software I'm using is expensive, and me and my wife decided the YouTube channel and selling maps are going to be directly what's helping me with the big, the Cinema 4D, Maya, Houdini, and stuff like that, learning that. Again, this has been Dan. This has been fun. I hope you guys have liked this. A little rambly at the first. I might do a separate video on creating scale in your world, but we'll just kind of go from there. It's Darmy. Hello. How are you? We just got done, but it's good to see you. Also, guys, timetable. If it works for you guys better, if we stream in the morning, I can do mornings. If we stream in the afternoon, we can do afternoons or evenings. Just let me know. And actually, I think I'm going to commit tomorrow at about, let's see here. Noon Eastern time. I'm going to bop in and I'm going to finish this map and add cities, and we're going to do some civilizations and get this part done. That sound okay to you guys? So our narrative right now is we're going to start in the city, this area, and maybe let's follow these devouring gods, these horrible things that are spreading out of this place into civilization. Maybe the crab thing just attached itself under a boat. Maybe it shed something so it's really small and it's starting to do stuff. So I think that's cool. I think that's going to be really fun. So guys, thank you so much. It is always a pleasure. Ruby, I know who you are. Good to see you guys. Tomorrow is Saturday, I believe, right? Okay, I'm committing to Saturday at noon. If I make a post saying, "Oh crap, I screwed up," I screwed up. But I will finish this. Maybe on Thursdays we'll get the map thing, we'll talk stuff, and on Saturdays we'll just finish up details. Hope that sounds good, guys. Thank you. Love you all. Be kind to each other, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.